Hey, I just wanted to step in the live real quick and say good evening. And I'm just doing a little bit of late night work, and I came across this disturbing email. This crazy person. I'm doing a little campaign, and also just trying to bring in more ideas for this channel. And I don't know who this person was. I have my documents and stuff. I always clearly spell out in business, you have to spell out every detail. And you also have to make sure you spell out any type of contract or agreement that you have, with whatever, if it's business to business, person to person, brand to brand, entity to entity, whatever it is, you will have to be very specific when presenting the agreement. And so, a lot of people want to manage, you know, an expectation out of folk. In other words, this gentleman expected something from me, but was not clear of what he wanted. But I was very clear with what I wanted because I spelled it out very clearly in my advertisement and also in the documentations that I sent to him on the email. Very clearly. Everything is spelled out step by step. That's just how I get down. And if that's anyone in business or anyone listening, in regards to anything that you want to collaborate with anyone, especially when it's one to one, make sure you spell out everything that you expect on your end and on that other person's end. People these days are what I call very narcissistic. They think people owe them something. And this gentleman thought he was going to email me, send me some links and pictures and stuff like that, and thought I was just going to advertise for him without his doing his part, in which I was requesting very clearly on my documentation. And in my ad, clearly reads it before you even email me. I spell it out on my ad what it is I'm looking for, what you need to do, and if you want that advertisement, then this is what you have to do on your part. So before you even get to my email, the advertisement spells it out clearly. There's a problem nationwide, and I was discussing this in another platform where a lot of people, and we have to understand that, especially those of us who are in business or conducting business, a lot of you content creators and individuals who are building your brand and wanting to collaborate with others, a lot of people are not at an appropriate reading and comprehension level. I remember as a nurse, we would have to be able to explain treatments and medications and different types of services and things and orders that the doctor is providing. You have to be able to explain it to individuals so that they can understand, because a lot of folk, there is a huge percentage of folk nationwide who are considered illiterate. They're unable to read or understand what they're reading. And also, that is, that spills over in communication and conversation as well. That's why I like emails so much. And like I said, written documentation, because that always spells out everything very clearly. And you can always tell when someone is having difficulty because they don't read. And then if you can't read the details and understand the details, then you won't be able to follow clear directions. And that's very important. It's important when you're in your career, in anything you do. It's very important to read the details, understand what it is you're getting into. And so I guess this gentleman thought he was just going to sign a contract did a screenshot of it and sent it to me, talking about a legal document, and so there, and wants to go into business. And so I'm thinking, people are just flying at the seat of their pants, just doing whatever because they're desperate. They want to make money. They want to do business and all of that, but they don't have the education and understanding, and not necessarily the education, just the clear understanding of how to conduct business. And so, someone very clearly stated, when you are, working with people and working with individuals, I learned something very, 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 it was a very good lesson that, instead of managing expectations, let's say you're leading or supervising or managing a group of individuals, you can expect them to do anything, but on their end, they may not come through because they don't know what you're expecting. So instead of trying to, you know, manipulate or try to convince them to do what you expect, write things out very clearly, spell it out very clearly, and then go over the both of you or all of you, if you're talking to your department or if you're speaking to individuals, go over those details in that particular written agreement or document or email or whatever it is you're sending. Spell everything out, what you expect, a timeline. If there is a timeline, you expect them to finish a particular task or whatever. Spell that out clearly and go over it with that individual. And then both of you come to an understanding that you are clear on what the agreement is. You're clear on what you're supposed to do on your part and what they are supposed to do on their part. And when you do that, then you guys are now in agreement. They're not expecting something from you that you didn't to, and you're not expecting things from them. And then, so now you're managing, in a better way because both or all of you are all on the same terms. But what I find these days are they're just a bunch of amateur individuals who are just eager to make a lot of money. So I'm just going to go in business, and they're just doing it right off the seat of their pants. They think they could just send products out. All of a sudden, people are just going to jump on board with their program, and they don't have to do anything but just, hey, do this for me. And instead of coming into an agreement and collaborating, what are you going to do on your part? What am I going to do on my part? So they get upset. And then, because they don't really know how to read and comprehend, they don't really know how to see the details. And that's how you weed out the folk that you really don't want on your team or you really don't want to do business with or work with. Because if you can't, follow directions, if you can't read and clearly ask questions that, are relating to the agreement, if you have any questions or anything in detail, you can ask and get that clarified. But people these days, who I call very narcissistic, because they find that they have that kind of a weakness, this gentleman really just didn't read anything. He thought he was just going to send me some stuff and I was going to do something. And then when he realized, I told him, I said, first of all, do not sign any documents until you have read what it is you're signing and what it is you are getting into. And so they're just signing contracts and documents and things of that nature. And then all of a sudden he got frustrated. There were just 4 documents, and I'm telling you, the documents are not that lengthy. And the process that I am referring to, the collaboration I'm referring to, is very simple collaboration and with in business. And so, because he got frustrated, all of a sudden he's sending me an email talking about, I found somebody else who's going to do this, that, and then putting a bunch of curse words and all of that in there. And first, he also knows that I am Christian based, because that's clear in my advertisement as well. And so I have to send him back an email and let him know I am a Christian, but I'm not a weakling. I am a soldier for Christ. And whatever you have coming at me with all your curse words and all of your junk, you send it back to wherever you came from, you demon. And that's all Satan does. He has all these trolls throughout social media just waiting to come in and try to disrupt your energy, your vibe, your spirit. He's trying to disrupt you from your focus. So I just dismissed him. But wanted to come on here on live just to share that with you guys and just say, hey, when you're doing business, be clear. Be clear what you are and what you are agreeing to, not just expecting. You can expect a lot, but just because you expect that and that agreement has not been clarified and made between the both of you or all of you who are involved, then those expectations, you're just doing nothing, wasting your time going back and forth in emails. And that's what we're getting these days. And that term narcissism, I'm gonna have to do some videos and stuff on that because people are full of themselves. People just think that they can just, you know, manipulate you and con you into getting into their programs and this, that, and the other. And then if you don't want to do that, then you're F you, you're this, that, and the other. You don't know me from a can of paint. And, I had to let them know, yeah, I'm a child of God, but you better get back to where you came from. You don't come to my platform, trying to curse me or do anything like that. That's not going to work. I rebuke demons. I send demons to the pits of hell. See, I'm a prayer warrior, and I don't get down like that. I do not get down like that. And so we have to be careful with how we treat one another when it comes to business, not getting so easily frustrated just because someone's not doing what you think you want them to do. And then read. Work on your reading and comprehension skill level because our nation, let me look this up. I think what's the percentage? I'm getting ready to get off, you guys. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 58%. Let's see. Nationwide, on average, 79% of U.S. adults are literate in 2022. 21% of adults in the U.S. are illiterate. 54% of adults have a literacy below sixth grade level. And then 21% of Americans 18 and older are illiterate. Okay, so that 54%, that's what we would focus on in the medical field. And in any career that you're in, any business that you're in, keep in mind that 54% of adults have a literacy level below sixth grade. They may be able to read, they may be able to comprehend at a certain level, and that's at a sixth grade level. So then when you're talking about individuals with that sixth grade level wanting to go into business and that kind of thing, and then it's okay. I'm not downing anyone who is going into business, but don't get frustrated and angry when you are expecting some things that you have not set up a written agreement. And I mean written. I mean, we can have oral agreements here and there and all of that, but I believe in documenting everything. And yeah, that's what's going on tonight. Just wanted to say good night, and I hope all is well. I hope you all are blessed. I hope you're living your best lives free, because he who the sun sets free is free indeed. I'm about to get off this live. Just wanted to say hello, and yeah, manage agreements, y'all. Make sure you get those agreements, and make sure you understand when you're communicating with individuals that some individuals are not communicating at the same level that you are. And I'm not saying you have to condescend. I'm not saying that you have to be sarcastic. I'm not saying that you have to talk down to anyone, but you do have to be able to communicate so that they will be able to understand. And we're talking about 54% are at a literacy level below sixth grade. So let's keep that in mind when we're doing business, when you're working, in areas, especially in social media. Folk are dealing with brand deals and things of that nature. And so it can get frustrating. And then also, you're dealing with a lot of people who I wish I could Google what is the percentage, go to Chat GPT and ask what is the percentage of narcissistic folks. But narcissism is a mental health diagnosis. And maybe they're not really at that that spectrum of at that diagnosis, but they may have some little checkoffs. They may have a few more checkoffs of those symptoms than they think. And we're dealing with a lot of people who are full of themselves these days. And so let's just keep it humble, y'all. Let's keep it humble. Let's respect one another. Don't get upset and mad if you come to an understanding of something and you didn't really clearly get the picture, and then all of a sudden you start cursing and going on. That if you're trying to conduct business and building networks, it's the wrong way to go, partner. All right, y'all. I hope you guys are having a good night. Hope you are doing well. And yeah, I'm getting ready to get off this computer and go to sleep. I'm not going to be up all night tonight. I'm going to sleep. So I want to say thank you for stopping by. See you next time. God bless y'all.